Hi everybody, this is Simon Ward from the triathloncoach.com and more importantly from the Outlaw Half Triathlon. I've got some very specific messages for you in the lead up to the race on Sunday, so here we go. Let's take a look at the board behind me. I really want to focus on the swimming. You see the first thing there, the swim will go ahead. The water is warm enough for you to swim already. The next couple of days the weather's going to get even better and we're expecting water temperature on race day to be between 15 and 16 degrees, which is well above what British Triathlon recommend for a 2-kilometre swim. So you'll have absolutely no problem with the water temperature at all, with it being warm enough. Now, I accept that some of you are going to feel maybe a little cold, and the first area that always feels the cold when you jump in is the head. So here are a couple of things you might want to try. Firstly, you've probably got a spare swim hat. Take that with you when you go to the race and put it on first, and then your official race hat can go on top of that, and that should keep your head warm enough. If you're not convinced that that's going to work, then the alternative is to buy a neoprene skull cap. These are a bit more heavy duty. They tend to have a strap that comes around and fits under your chin here, and then you'll put your race hat on top. If you haven't got one, don't panic. You can find them either at the Blue 70 or the TFN Expo booths, and they will be selling them ready for the race, so don't panic if you don't have one of those. The next thing I want to tell you about is how to cope with the cooler temperatures straight after you come out of the water. So the ambient air temperature is going to be a lot warmer than it is at the moment, but it's still going to feel a bit cool at 7:15, 7:30. What I do and what many other athletes do is, rather than take a long thicker jacket, which if you get warm later on is more difficult to dispose of, is to use a gilet, which are easy to get on and you can zip them up, and a pair of arm warmers. So get a cheap pair, roll them up in your bag so it's like a little tube. Before you run to your bike, put your hand in so you're running along with them on your wrists, and then you can pull them up over your arms as you go to your bike or as you get started on your bike in the first few hundred yards. Then later on, if you do warm up and the sun comes out, which is what we're expecting, you can either roll them down again or you can just chuck them away, but not in somebody's garden. Make sure you leave them at an aid station where they can dispose of them properly. We don't want litter on the course, remember that, please. The next thing that's really going to make a big difference to how well you enjoy the swim and how well your race starts is the warm-up. I don't see enough people warming up. I think a lot of people see the swim start as their warm-up, and that's a big mistake because it means that you're losing the opportunity to maximise your race time. Here's what I recommend. Approximately 20 to 25 minutes before your start, and I will backtrack a little bit here, make sure you read the instructions. It's up to you to know what time your race starts. And every race I've been to as a volunteer, as a commentator, we have people running up at last minute going, "Oh, I didn't realise, I made a mistake, I didn't read the instructions." So as soon as you've stopped watching this video, please do go read the instructions and double check that you know what your start time is. So let's say you're on at 6:45. 20 to 25 minutes before, you want to be getting in the water, so that's around 6:20, so you'll need to be putting your wetsuit on at 15:15. Wander over to the water, there will be some opportunity for you to swim there. Jump in. The first few minutes you'll need to acclimatise, you'll need to let your head get used to the cold water, so take it out and put it in. Catch your breath, because it probably will take your breath away to start with. Just let your feet and arms warm up by kicking them around and moving around. Do some easy swimming for 5 minutes and then do some intervals. Fast repetitions. You want your heart rate to go up, but you don't want to completely recover. You want to keep pushing it up until you're at race intensity and race feel, breathing quite hard. And that'll be enough then, that'll kick your aerobic system in. You can swim around for a little more until you've got about 10 minutes to go before your start time. At that point, you want to be getting out and seeding yourself. Now if we go down to this next part here, the swim start, I want you to make sure you seed yourself appropriately. There are 2 bays. You'll be swimming clockwise around the course. This represents the side you swim up, and here's my little diagram showing the buoys. Faster swimmers will be in pod 1, bay 1. The not quite so fast swimmers will be in bay 2. So make sure you know which one of those you should be in. And then when you're in them, seed yourself appropriately. the fastest swimmers, they're the guys who are going to, in the fastest wave, and the fastest swimmers are going to be doing about 25 or 26 minutes for the 1900 metres. If you can't swim that pace, please don't put yourself on the front, because I guarantee the faster swimmers will not be very polite. They'll just swim over you if you get in the way. How do I cope with this? I ask the people around me, what speed are you going to swim? Oh, 30 minutes. Okay, I'm a little faster than that. Do you mind if I go in front? Or I'm going to swim 26 minutes. That's fine. I'm not going to swim that. Can I go behind you? Right. So seed yourself accordingly. And be realistic. What you want to do is get off to a good start without going too anaerobic, caused by stopping people, ducking you, or pulling your arm, or getting on your legs. Okay, so you're all set off together. The faster swimmers will go up here. The guys from Bay 2, they'll swim slightly to the left and fit in nicely behind them, we hope. If you're extremely or at all worried about this swim start, then here's what I'd recommend that you do. After you warm up, I still recommend that you do this to get used to the water. Stand on the dock here, behind the fastest swimmers, at the back of lane 1. When the gun goes off, they'll all start swimming pretty quickly. You can take your time. When you see what direction they're going in and about, you're not going to catch them up, I would doubt. So as soon as they're about 20 to 30 metres away, walk into the water, take your time and start at your own pace. By now, the swimmers from Bay 2 will have moved across. You'll be able to slide in behind them, and you'll have a nice easy swim with nobody bashing your feet and nobody pushing you down on your shoulder. That way you can swim without feeling panicked. You can get your own rhythm and complete the swim and get your day off to a good start. I'll be your commentator on Sunday. You'll hear me first thing in the morning, calling you down to the transition area, getting you in for a warm-up and then starting you off. And then later on you'll hear me and my co-commentators at the finishing line welcoming you all home, hopefully having completed the race. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good journey, and we'll see you on Sunday.